Hello, hello, hello. How are ya? Hi, Terry. It is Friday. It is Friday all day long. Yes. Hi, Joan. Good to see you guys. I'm badly in need of a hair appointment. But oh well. You guys won't mind, will you? I look a little ghostly, I think, today. Couldn't find the lipstick. Oh well. You guys don't care, do you? Hi, Starla. Hi, Nana. Nana Linda. Hi, Peggy. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. It's Friday all day long. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Shu. Good to see you. Nice to see you, Shu. Haven't seen you for a while. My voice is still a little iffy. My energy is a little iffy, but you know, overall, I'm doing a lot better. You hear me? Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Linda. If you can hear me over in the UK, we must be okay, right? Hello, Rhonda. Good to see you. So, I have cough drops, I have hot tea, and hopefully that will be enough to keep me going. Good to see you guys. I'm glad you're here. Shu, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing great over there. I guess you're still in India, I would assume. I am feeling better. My energy level is kind of lagging a little bit. I spent one night this week coughing my fool head off. Didn't sleep much. Night before last. Didn't sleep much at all because I coughed so much. Still a little bit of it hanging around. But it's going better. It's going better. So yeah. So do I look too bright to you guys? If I do, I can turn off one of the lights. Hairdresser's going back to the Philippines for a 4-week vacation. Oh, Terry. Let me try turning off one light. It seems like, I don't know. Do I seem too light to you guys? If Race was here, he'd tell me. I look okay? Okay. All right. The light's fine. Okay, good. Well, there you go. What do I know? Anyway, it's good to be here. So we're gonna get into doing some stuff. First of all, I'll tell you what I've been up to. I've been moving today. But one of these days, you guys are gonna show up and you're gonna say, I'm gonna surprise you because I'm gonna say, I'm done moving. I never have to move another thing, at least not for a long time. But you know what? I got up bright and early this morning because Elton had to be up. He went to an early meeting this morning. So I got up bright and early and drove back across town because I had some things over there that I'd forgotten to bring here that I need for tomorrow, which, by the way, tomorrow is the VIP class. I've got to make myself a big fat note because I forgot to send the emails out. Let me do that while I'm thinking. The VIP class is tomorrow. So your email will go out after this is over today with all the information. Yeah, it's so anyway, bright and early I drove all the way across town, got what I needed, drove all the way back, and still forgot one thing, but it wasn't critical, so it's okay. And the bathroom that we had remodeled, I am happy in my new house. Yeah, I am. You're doing good. Missed the last live streams. Live streams are too early. Yeah, that 4:30 is too early. That's way too early. It is. It just seems endless. It really does. Anyway, the bathroom remodel that we've been doing, which was a major remodel, the master bathroom, major remodel, like out, everything came out like to the walls. Walls had to be repaired, things had to be redone. It was a whole thing. And so it's like a little over, I think it's over like 3.5 weeks that we had to move out of the bedroom, move into a different part of the house, and I won't bore you with details. But anyway, the remodel is finished. So this morning, one of the things I was determined to do was to get things moved back, at least partially back into where we live. We're supposed to live. Yeah. So anyway, things are coming along. But you know how it is when you move into a new space, you got to figure out where the light switches are. You know what I mean? And then I've just barely kind of gotten my legs under me, and then we moved out of that space into a different space, and I had to find the light switches all over again. Yes, it is a lot. The setting is different. I live in the country as opposed to a neighborhood. The shape of the house is very different. It is a ranch style house with a full basement under it. My house was a split foyer, or is a split foyer that we added on to it to make it a tri-level. So there was a lot of steps, and this one has steps, but you only go down the steps if you want to go to the lower level. It's not like steps you have to go to go everywhere. And then there's a back porch, which is really nice, where we can sit, and Elton has bird feeders. He has a number of bird feeders outside the windows. We have a finch feeder and one that is just sunflower seeds that the birds really have to work at to get the seeds. So it's kind of funny to watch them. And then another one that it's a big feeder, and it has the suet, I don't know what you call the packets that are suet impregnated with birdseed on the ends, and then the big part in the middle, which is the black oil sunflower seeds and some other stuff that he mixes in. Hello, Starlight. Did I say hello to you? I don't know if I did. Hi, Sharon. If I miss saying hello to anybody. Oh, there's Dorothy. Hello, Dorothy. Good to see you. So, it's really nice to be able to sit out there and watch the birds, and it overlooks the woods. And so I think I told this before, but in case I didn't, because I couldn't tell you what I've told you or not, we were looking out in the woods, and Elton thought that there was a deer out there that had died, and he, looking out, because it was very, very still, and he said, think I'm going to have to go do something about that. And so we sat there, and I was feeling really sad about that, and really bad that, because it was cold, and then I saw something move, and I thought, was that my imagination, or did something really move? And then I saw what appeared to be an ear flick, and I thought, I said, I think maybe that deer is not dead. And he said, well, you think so? And so we sat there and we watched this deer for the longest time. And then the head moved, and it said, nope, it's okay. And so the next thing we know, it stood up. And then we saw all these other deer that were right there with it. I mean, there was 4 or 5 of them all kind of bedded down in this one area. It's crazy. Here we were mourning that. You've upset the birds in your garden. Oh, yeah, pruning does upset them. For sure. I will try to take some pictures, and actually Let me see if I have a picture I could show you, because I have taken a bunch of pictures of the birds. So we'll see. Don't know that I have any right where you can see them. Yeah, I don't see any right offhand. I'll see if I can find some and show you. I have a lot. It was really neat to see the deer. It really was. And then they all stood up and then they took off, because the back part of the house, there's clearly a path that the deer go down. And one day we saw, I think it was 7 deer going through. So it was really nice. It was really nice to be able to see the wildlife. Now, the mice and stuff like that I can do without. Those can stay, go take a hike. But the cats, there's 4 cats that are outdoor. And so they do a nice job of keeping the house pretty varmint free. You have 6 bird baths. Wow. Oh, I bet, Rhonda. 6 bird baths, and you fill them multiple times a day. That is cool. Well, so let's get started. I have part of what I've been doing in the moving issue is having to really organize my space. I wasn't very organized. I knew everything, where things were at the other house, but I didn't need to really be super organized because I had plenty of space. And if you have plenty of space, you spread out. Okay? Just saying, you spread out. It's just the nature of how it happens. And here, because I moved into my studio space, the broadcast area, and the place where I work is in a bedroom, and then there's another space at the other end of the house that will be the sewing room. We're waiting on the flooring to get replaced in there to go from a carpet to a hard floor, which will be much easier to take care of with the sewing machines and threads and all that scraps and all that kind of stuff. And so we're waiting for that to get done. Anyway, so what that's caused me to do here is try to consolidate, organize the whole space that I have here to work in, which is also then the side benefit is coming up with all kinds of things that I'd forgotten about, totally forgotten about. And so it was like a walk down memory lane in some respects, which I have totally enjoyed, and I've shown you some of those things before now. And so I'm going to show you a few more. And then, in case anyone here does not know, we did lose Chance. We lost him, let's see, almost, it'll be 2 weeks on Tuesday. So we lost our boy. We lost our remaining sponsor. And I have a book that I thought we would go through and just kind of celebrate his life and the life of Charlie. Wonderful cats. It was a tough decision we had to make, but there wasn't a choice. There wasn't a choice. He was almost 18, and we had multiple things apparently that had gone wrong, that if any one thing had been wrong, we probably could have treated it. We did try. We tried really hard to treat him. And but I think it was too many things, and he just couldn't throw it off. And so anyway, it was very hard. It was very hard. And so I thought, I have a book that somebody made for me, and I thought I know. And I love them too. And Muppet is probably not too far behind. Muppet's the little black dog, medium-sized black dog. She's probably not too far behind because she is regressing into puppyhood. And so she is, when you have a puppy, if you've ever had a puppy, you can't leave the puppy alone. if you're going to really take care of a puppy, they either need to be supervised, or they need to be in a crate, or they need to be, you know, you just need to take care of them 24/7, eyes on them all the time, in order to manage their bathroom habits and all that. Well, hello, Sandy. Thank you. And she has regressed to puppy now, where this dog just, I mean, she would have just been so embarrassed if she had ever made a mistake in the house. And now it's just like, if you're not watching her, she will, fortunately I have blankets that are waterproof blankets on the floor, and she uses them, but consequently I'm doing a lot of laundry. And so we have to watch her all the time. And she, like this morning, for example, this is TMI, and I know that, but oh well. This morning I was up bright and early, took her out. Her morning routine is she goes out, she goes to the bathroom, because I have her in a confined space. Bring her back in. She goes back in the laundry room where she slept overnight, where I have a camera on her so I can watch her if I need to, check on her. And she goes in there and she'll eat and drink and she does all that. And then you go back outside. Well, I didn't get her back outside quite quick enough. And right in front of me, she squats and takes a big poop. And I'm like, Muppet, really? She has no ability to hold it. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you. So, you know, I'm like, for real? So she is just regressing to puppy days. So she's 16 and a half. You know, when they get to a certain point, they get lumpy. They get those fatty tumors and stuff. And she's had one on her side for a long time, big one. And I can tell she's got some other ones going on. So at some point, something's going to break. And, you know, and we're going to be, facing this yet again. But I knew that. I've known that for a long time. But, you know. I know, Joan. I know. Believe me, I've been down that road. I've been down that road. Okay, so how about if we go through a few things that I found that I thought, it'd be fun to share these, take a look at them again. Thanks, Rhonda. So this came from, what I'm going to show you, I believe came from Christine. I think it was Christine G, I think. I was trying to find her name. I think she signed it someplace on here. Oh, yeah. Christine G. And it's so true, Barbara. It is so true. So I thought I would show this to you because I thought it might be something, you know, that you might get some inspiration from. That's one of the reasons I'm sharing any of these things with you, is for inspiration. And Christine sent this to me in some happy mail. And so she has a little bulb pin with some crystals on it. And I don't have any idea what this paper collection is. Some of you might know. I never was good at knowing paper collections. But there's a bookmark and a little slot pocket and lace. I don't know how much, if this was her original idea or somebody else's idea. I have no idea. How do you like that? I have no idea. This is a really cool binder clip, by the way. Look at this binder clip. It's see-through. I think that's really neat. So this holds on this pocket or little book, and then inside is a little tag and a little paper clip of some kind. But it has lots of butterflies on it. Most of you guys know how significant the butterfly is to me. The butterfly signals represents transformation to me, which I have had to do a couple of times in my life, transform myself. And so, yeah, that is one reason that the butterfly is such a powerful example for me. So here's the bulb pin with the crystals on it. I love bookmarks too, and the pockets. And then over on this side, there's a angled pocket. We'll just take all the, I think all this comes out. Let's see. Sometimes things want to hang up inside the pocket. Maybe that one doesn't. I don't know. Maybe this. Yeah, I think it comes out. Here we go. Okay. So this is, so there's a pocket, and this is a slip pocket at the top. Hi, Leah. It looks like Stamperia or Stamperia. I think it's House of Roses. Okay, cool. Hey, Jean. Thanks for the information. So here's a little booklet with it's a plastic with a butterfly in it. I don't know that it's a real, I don't know if it's a real butterfly. Can't tell. Anyway, there's just all kinds of little goodies here, and a little, like a little miniature file folder. And then this tag, or this pocket, also like a coin envelope type pocket. I don't think there's anything in there. I truly don't have the patience for making things like this, so it's kind of fun to receive it. And then on the back, life does not have to be perfect. By Jan. Pardon, let me put a cough drop in my mouth here. Okay. I'm sorry about the coughing. It comes with the talking. If it gets worse, I will stop streaming and give you guys a break. But let's keep going and see if it'll straighten up. Again, more butterflies. This is from Jan, Lady True North Jan. And let's see, maybe it goes, does it go this way? I think it goes this way. And Jan likes to send things that you can take apart and use. So there's a napkin here with butterflies on it. It's a really beautiful little book with, she does a lot of incorporating text and things into her photographs. Home is where thou art. And this was made from, because I like that. This is a World War II memorial rose, and it was planted in memory of Gary's father, and it's a beautiful rose. The Wes gray and silver. I'm probably butchering that, but anyway, so she does a lot of taking pictures of her flowers. And this is another one that she did. But I don't have any problem taking things apart sometimes and just incorporating whatever she sends, because I think it's nice also that you honor what somebody sends to you by incorporating it or using it, and then you can remember it. And this is, I think this is rose petals in here. I think that's what, yeah, it's a rose, pressed rose in there. And they grow a lot of lavender, and so she frequently has sent me lavender, dried lavender. So here's the lavender in the field. And then there's, yeah, this. So there's, I think that's some of the lavender in this one. So she makes these really cool little packets of wonderful goodness. Maple leaf flag tulips. And I'm not sure what's in the pocket here. It's hard to, I'm not sure, but she's just so good at drawing things and sending them. And there's the back part of the napkin. And this was a coffee filter that she dyed with some of the, she does a lot of natural dyeing and things, which was really neat. Anyway, pretty, just such a pretty little book to use. She does, Jan does wonderful things. Lady True North. Okay, and this I thought you guys would enjoy seeing. Lena is in Denmark. I couldn't begin to tell you her last, pronounce her last name. Hi, Joni. This has been, this, whatever this was, this virus thing, it has been a crazy thing. It has changed about every day or so. And I keep thinking, oh, I'm all done with it. And then it just kind of morphs into something else. So anyway, enough complaining. Doesn't do any good. So this is from Lena in Denmark. And she has a YouTube channel. She also has a Patreon channel. And so if you are not familiar with Lena, you need to watch her. She is a wonderful watercolorist. She does amazing, amazing art. She is prolific. And I don't remember exactly why she sent this to me. Made with love, supervised by my cat from a friend in Denmark, Lena. And there's her last name, Schweiker. I don't know. I'm not sure how to say her last name. Anyway, so here is the book. And so this is all about Muppet. So these are little artworks that she did on tea bags. I can relate to that, Dorothy. So little tags. And then she did one with Chance and Charlie on it. So they're done. Love is a four-legged word. Yeah. So this is done on, all of these are done on tea bags, if you can imagine. The 5-second rule doesn't count when you got a 2-second Muppet. That is so true. Oh, goodness, that is so true. Give a dog your heart and he will give you his. Dogs teach us a lot of things, but none more important than to love unconditionally. Boy, that is the truth. That is so true. So she made this little book as well as did the artwork in it. But isn't that just, this is what she did based on, this was based on the challenge that we did, where we did the Muppet and Chance and Charlie challenge. So this was her rendition of that. So cute. And I'd honestly forgotten about this. So I'm so glad I found it. So glad I found it. But I mean, all the little details that she puts on this stuff is amazing. Some of my best friends never say a word to me. So this is me. That's Muppet. She even got my flannel shirt. My bangs might be a little short, but maybe not. Maybe that's how they really look. You know, what's funny is I don't think of myself as having blonde hair. but that's because my hair was really dark when I was younger. And so in my own head, I still have dark hair in my own mind. Okay. Muppet Bonaparte, top guard dog, one brave dog. But again, these are tea bags, watercolor on tea bags, I think. Muppet, adorable. She's Queen Muppet. Love this girl. Backstage Muppet. Yeah, here she is. And that's even my mug that I often drink out of that has the word inspire on it. Beware of this dog. That is Muppet. I mean, if you give her half a chance, she's going to lap out of my mug, and Chance would stick his foot down in my cup. So, yeah. If one wasn't trying to drink out of my drink, the other one was, for sure. Here's BB King and Muppet up here. Spoiled Rotten, for sure. And in here, she did a little portrait of Race on a tea bag. And Claus Man on a tea bag. English Earl Grey. The road to my heart is paved with dog feet. Dogs are not the whole life, but they make our lives whole. That's pretty cool. The road to my heart is paved with dog prints, footprints. Yeah, spoiled rotten, that's for sure. Isn't that cute? Yeah. I mean, for me to do any one of these little, I mean, this is my arm in my plaid shirt. You can see my blonde hair there, my fake blonde hair. For me to do any one of these portraits, these little sketchy portrait type things, it'd take me forever. And Lena is so fast. She is so fast. It's just incredible. You can't buy love, but you can rescue it. That is true. Muppet was a rescue. She is a rescue, and so were the cats. Isn't that cute? Anyway, so I thought I'd show you that. And then this was something that I made, and I thought, well, I'll show it to you. This was a technique that I just sort of stumbled upon. Actually, I made it up. Not that it's totally original. I'm sure I was inspired by somebody. But this I've done on stream a couple of times, and it's using tissue paper. These are sewing pattern tissue papers in the background, and then different kinds of acrylic paint and stenciling and stuff. And what I was after was to make a modified, like an old pitted, weathered metallic metal box. And the funny part about this was after I did this, it was actually a different one that I did. This was a repeat of something I did earlier, and I don't know when I did this, a while back. And I'm like, it seems like I've seen something, because I wanted something that had some patina on it, which is where the kind of green color comes from. And I went up in our bedroom, and there was an old Whitman sampler box, which I haven't moved over here yet. It's still over at the other house. It's a Whitman sampler metal box. That's back when they would put candy in metal boxes. And I have dusted that thing, and for 50 years I have dusted that thing and put stuff in it, taken stuff, you know. It has sat on my dresser for all those years, and I looked at it. It was almost identical to this, you know, and it was just kind of crazy because I didn't have them side by side. Anyway, so it just has kind of that, looks like metal. It's not. It's a cigar box. And so I covered, so it's a tissue paper type technique. And then I collaged inside with one of my favorite tissue papers that came from Walmart, covered with words, which is how can you can't get anything better than tissue paper that's words, right? And then I covered or made these little booklets to go inside this little box. It's made with watercolor paper or mixed media paper, probably. But again, I didn't even remember having made these. So, and I made them with different metallic finishes. You can maybe see that they're a little different. I don't know. Highly reflective. And then this one is like a pewter inside. And each one of these, I think, has some of those colors incorporated into them, but I don't know. I know this one was different. Anyway, so I made those to go inside this box. Have I ever used it? No. But there's some things in this world that after you make them, hi Carol, some things when you make stuff, you go, can I get rid of this? And you're like, I don't believe I can. And so I didn't. I kept it. And then I had another little book here. If I can put my hand, here it is. Okay, some of you guys will really enjoy this. Some of you will remember it. It's been a while since I've seen Janice J.L. Johnson, I think it is. But she did these back, I don't know how many years ago. Maybe it says inside here. But there were quite a group of us back years ago that were streamers, and we would all stream and kind of entertain each other, for lack of a better word. There was always somebody saying, don't you want to turn on your camera and stream? You know, because I guess we were bored. I don't know. Anyway, and so there were some, this is the teeniest little book. So there were some things that were characteristically said by different people who were streamers. And FIB stands for Friends in the Box, isms, so things that were said by streamers. Okay? So these little books, a tremendous amount of work went into this, by the way. And Janice made these and sent them to various people. And I was lucky enough to receive one. So we'll open it up so you can see this teeny tiny little book. Wait for it. So one of the streamers said this very frequently. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh my giggles. Oh my giggles. Joycey Doodle said that. Crusty Bits, that was from Paula, Journal Artista. Who was it that said wait for it? Who was it that said that? You guys remember? I don't remember. Crusty Bits, that was a Journal Artista. Paula Phillips. Rabbit Trail, that was Dee Dee Willingham. Inkwell. Stickles, I can't remember who was it that loved Stickles. It wasn't me. Did they mention it? Oh, that's funny. It was Dee Dee. Wait for it was Dee Dee. Maybe. I don't know. Razzer Frazzin, that was a Journal Artista saying. She'd say that instead of saying a bad word. Come to Mama. One moment, please. I know that was a Joycey Doodle saying. I mean, but this took a lot of time to do this. All More Butter. That was Jamie. APG Jamie said that. She used the word butta a lot. Bad News. That's another journal artista. Musical Interlude. That's another APG Jamie. Heat Gun. There are quite a few people that say Heat Gun, especially APG Jamie and Paula. Journal Artista would warn you before they turn on their heat gun so it didn't blow your ears out. Drama Free Zone. I can't imagine who that is. Sweet Goodness. That was another journal artista. Don't Email Me. That was something Dee Dee said. I don't know if she still does. Hi, Deborah. Brown is a color in my rainbow. I think that's from Tim Holtz, right? Brown is a color in my rainbow. It's not mine. I'm not speaking from experience, but What the Fluffy. I don't know who said that. Know what I mean, Vern? That came from Journal Artista also. Just Saying. Can't Talk Arting. That was from a Blade who was, I can't remember his channel name. He was a guy that streamed frequently. And he painted in a journal. He would paint an acrylic, kind of a illustrative style. He had his own style. And he'd say, can't talk. When he'd get real quiet, then he'd realize what he was doing. He'd say, can't talk, arting. Hello, Lover. That came from Patty Tolly Parrish. We Speak Typo. That's everybody. If you're on any kind of electronic device, you know, you gotta speak typo. Craft-a-Lanch. Well, that's most of us. If you have a bunch of stacked up art supplies, you're going to have a Craft-a-Lanch. Happy Art and Y'all. That was APG Jamie. And that's it. There you go. But isn't that cute? Isn't that a cute little book? Yeah. So there's that. And then, I mean, you talk about some, and she made multiples of these. I mean, to make one of those is so much time, but to make multiples of these, because she made a bunch and sent them out to people. I was like, I don't know how long I don't know how much time she invested in those, but holy moly, it was a lot. So sweet of her to do that. Janice she was an amazing, or is, she's amazing at what she does. Amazing and thoughtful. Isn't that cute? From Cottonwood, Arizona, near snowier Sedona. Well, welcome, Deborah. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to have to tie that up later. Okay, so in this book, I'm going to show you two more things, and we're actually going to do some art. I know, right? Who knew? It is good memories. It really is. This book that I'm going to show you, I don't remember why Dee Dee sent this, but I am so glad she did, and I totally forgot about it. And so she snagged these pictures off of things that I apparently had shared on social media somewhere. I don't know where. Anyway, she snagged the different pictures, and so I thought, oh, this is too good. We're going to celebrate, take a little walk back through the life and times of Charlie and Chance. But she sent this little book to me quite a while ago, and this is made by Dee Dee Willingham. It's made out of brown paper bags. And Dee Dee is one, I think this is paper actually that I sent to her. At some point, I sent her a pad of paper or something. I don't remember the deal. And then she made something out and sent it back, which I thought was so funny that she did that. Anyway, so Charlie and Chance. This is Charlie. That's Chance. They're sitting, this is a place that they laid all the time over in my house in the window. It was a south window, so in the winter, the sun would just stream in through this window, and they just loved to sit in that window and get sun drunk. Sitting pretty with my kitty. So this is Charlie. Charlie was a chocolate point Siamese, and he was an absolutely beautiful chocolate point Siamese, and way too fat, super way too fat, but that's the way he was. And these were some different little ATC type cards. He was a great cat. These cats came to me from a traveling nurse who was traveling too much to really take care of them, and so that's how I ended up with them. So what he's doing here is he is laying on my table, and he's got his arm. I'm trying to journal. This is a notebook down here, and trying to journal, and he wants me to pet him. And so he's got his leg around me, and he's pulling to try to get me to pet him instead. That's Chance. That is how fat Chance was. Believe me, he ended up to be anything but that size. But yeah, that was Chance. And this was a typical thing that would happen. I had a chair right next to me. This is my streaming table where I was working. I would put this chair there so that I could try to get them to sit beside me instead of try to get on me. So Chance would get up there, and then Charlie would want the chair. And so frequently he would just get up on the chair and just lay down on top of Chance. Like, just squash him. They were big boys, both of them. They came to me fat, and I never could get the weight off of them. I tried, but I never got the weight off of them. Okay, I'm going to just make sure that we're still here. Okay, I think we are. Okay. Yeah, both of them were huge. I mean, they really were. When Chance would run down the hall or run through the studio, his belly would swing back and forth. You know, I mean, they came to me fat, and they stayed that way for a long time. This was Chance. Chance found a roll of paper towels on the floor in the studio, and so he just got a hold of it, and he still had claws in his back feet, and so he just shredded that paper towel roll with his back feet, and he had a wonderful time with it. Cats always know just how you're feeling. They just don't care, but they know. So true. Okay, so here is what happened to the roll of paper towels. This is Chance. So this is what happened to the roll of paper towels. See it over there? That's in the bathroom. And I'm sitting quite a few feet away from this. And so he ended up unrolling the whole paper towel, many feet of paper towel. He unrolled it after he had kicked it to death to make sure it was dead. And then he came over and laid down in the middle of it. Yeah. And this is Charlie. Chance was a blue point Siamese. Charlie was a chocolate point. And they loved these little mice made out of like fake fur type stuff. And you couldn't tell it was a mouse, but that's what it was. And they had feather tails. They came 3 to a pack. I think it was 3 to a pack. And Charlie loved the feather tails. And so he would immediately play with it until he had gotten rid of the feather tail. So right here, he's doing what cats do with real prey. He's watching it to make sure it doesn't get away from him. The Cheshire Cat, boy, amen to that. So this is Chance, who has decided that I've worked enough, and he's laying on top of my journal. But that's like the best picture of him. I mean, that is a really good picture of him. Let's see, is there something in here? I don't think so. And one night I was cleaning my shelves in the studio. These white, well, it's these white shelves that are behind me. I was cleaning those, which happens seldom, but because you can see all the crap on them, you know, yeah. And so, as cats will do, if you empty a space, they're going to try it out. You know? They're going to try it out. So he did. Chance got up there. And this was really high up. Like, this is the top of those. That level is the top of these shelves. These are tall shelves. So he managed to jump from the floor up about... it was about this high. Okay, there's another level above that. But that's how, from the floor, I mean, he's like, cat's crazy. He was crazy. And he could do it in just one leap. I'm not rude. I've got catitude. And this was one of Charlie's typical poses. He would lay on his back with his feet like this. And Siamese would look at you with that real cross-eyed look. And that was just so typical of Charlie. He was, and look at how big he is. I mean, the size of his head compared to his gut. Yeah, that's so true. They don't miss anything. We're Siamese, if you please. So what's happening here, this is Charlie, that's Chance. When Charlie would get enough of Chance, like he was over it, because Chance was a year younger. And so he would kind of, you know, always want to get Charlie to play with him and stuff. And Charlie's in a basket. Can you see that? He's laying in a Longaberger basket. And Chance is trying to get him out of the basket or trying to lay on top of him or something. I mean, he had sincerely annoyed Charlie. And so this is what Charlie would do. Now, Charlie didn't have many teeth in his head. He had very few teeth. Neither one of them had very many teeth. But he could still pinch the crap out of you. And so when he'd have enough, he could stop Chance in his tracks, because he would get a hold of him like he was biting him, and he would just pinch the dickens out of him. And so the next thing you hear is, "Oh, oh, 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 oh," as Chance is, you know, telling him, "I give up, I give up." And this is Chance. This is my glass that had a smoothie in it. And so I came into the studio one day, and fortunately I was finished with the smoothie. And as I walk in and look, this is what Chance is doing. So he's sticking his foot down in my smoothie glass and getting what's down at the bottom, because he's licked, it's clean up and from the top down to this level. Okay. Or about down to there. He has licked all the inside of the glass. And now he's putting his foot down in there and he'd cup his foot and get as much of the remaining smoothie on his foot, and then he'd lick it off. Sounds like Finnick, your cat, and Buddy, your dog. Yep, they're so funny. This house is owned by 2 spoiled cats, and that is amen to that. And what's happening here is I was cleaning up and organizing something on the shelves. And if you know if you know anything about cats, they will be with you whatever you're doing. If it's new, they got to sit on it, lay on it, puke on it, preferably. They like to do that too. But they want to be in the middle of everything. Yeah. And this was Love the Boys from Dee Dee in 2014. So that was 11 years ago. Yeah. So wasn't that nice? So sweet. So sweet. So glad I found that. Hopefully you enjoyed that walk down memory lane. And then I'm going to show you one more thing. And then we're going to do a little bit of art, I think. So this I found also, actually I found this a while back, and I've shown this a few times. So if you're bored, go get something to drink. Go get something to drink. Take a break while I show this. This was a thing that I made as a little girl. I am going to be 72 before too long. So how I managed to hang on to this thing, I have zero idea. I guess because my mom held on to it for a long time and then somehow bequeathed it to me. And yeah, they really are good memories. Somehow Mom bequeathed it to me, I guess, and then I proceeded to hang on to it. The thing is going to absolutely disintegrate at some point, but I think if there is a memory in me that says I made this in kindergarten or before, and I just am really not sure for sure how old I was. But anyway, it's kind of along the same line with the sponsors. It is a cat, if you can't tell. It's a cat made out of what we called oilcloth, I believe. I don't even know if you can still buy oilcloth, but I have no recollection of where the pattern came from or whatever. But it's oilcloth and it's stuffed, so it's stitched with yarn, and then it's stuffed with little bits and pieces of, you can tell that it's like muslin scraps. You can get it at Joann's, except Joann's is no longer. Is Joann's going to be online? Like, can you still buy stuff from Joann's online? Because I know they're closing all their retail stores. But anyway, so you can still get it apparently. So this is the tail was braided, so I guess I learned how to braid and stitched it together. Painted it with who knows what, whatever the paint is, it stayed on all these years. So I did, the pieces are so big, yeah. So several years ago, I don't even know how many years ago, but quite a few years ago, I did a whole series on taking children's art and preserving it. And so by that, what I mean, I don't have the samples here to show you other than what I have right here, because I still am, as I'm moving stuff over, I'm putting it away, figuring out where it goes, so I'm not just moving everything all in one big, overwhelming mess. So the other samples are not here with me. They're in my the other place. Anyway, I took children's art, mostly from my grandchildren, and then I translated it using exactly their art, and I translated it into various kinds of things, from clay to fabric to paper to just different mediums, interpreting it using exactly, like blowing it up, enlarging the designs and that kind of stuff, but keeping it true to what the child had done. And when the kids, my grandkids, were with me, I always did some kind of art thing with them, and I always had them sign and date their artwork and title it if possible. And so then I was able to use their signatures also, incorporate those with the artwork. So this was the only piece that I had from when I was a kid. So I thought I would show you some of the ways that I took that and just reimagined it. But if you have children or grandchildren in your life, I would encourage you to do this kind of thing with their artwork. First of all, it makes kids feel important. And we can't make kids feel too important or too loved, especially when you have families that, the nuclear family has, split apart for whatever reason. Kids kind of get lost in the process sometimes, and sometimes there are warring people, spouses, other periphery that war, get into so much disagreement. The children take it personally and so forth. And if we could just convince children that you can't have too many people to love you. They don't have to pledge allegiance to one group of people or one part of the family or whatever. And one of the reasons, or one of the ways we can do that, is by taking their artwork and making it significant. Hello, how are you, Anna Maria? Good to see you. So from this, I did several things. So this was a jelly plate print, I think. And so I took the same thing and made a copy of it, shrank it down, and then reinterpreted it as accurately as I could. And so this is green, and I wanted something that was kind of beat up, because this is pretty beat up. And then I punched holes around the outside edge, and I wove or stitched with pearl cotton around the edges, and put a little tail, and I interpreted all of the paint marks as much as I could using other pieces of paper. Dorothy still has a table centerpiece she made when she was 7. It's ecru colored fabric with orange lazy daisies. The embroidery is rotting now. A bit like you. Dorothy, stop that. Meow means woof in cat. Here's another one. Same thing, just slightly different version. Meow means woof in cat. So similar, but just different. How different it looks depending on what color you put behind it. You moved to Spain? Aw, I bet. Oh, it's so good to see you, Anna Maria. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for popping in. These next two examples are metallic. Let's see, what can we call it? This is, I think, is just aluminum foil. I think both of these that I'm going to show you are aluminum foil wrapped around cardstock. And the collar that's on this cat, on this one, is actually a little piece of some kind of metal, something or other that it's actually metal that I cut. I don't remember exactly how I did it. Anyway, this I do believe was aluminum foil wrapped around cardstock, and then metallic bits and pieces to make the definition of the cat, the eyes, the nose, and all of that. And then just a wiggly line around the outside edge, kind of like yarn. I did not stitch around the edge or put the tail on. And this one's the same. This is a book cover that I made, and so this is a traveler's notebook style with mixed media paper in it. This is stitched. This is quite, I don't know how I ever stitched this on my machine, honestly. This is This is some thick stuff I did right there. This is the same thing. Now this is foil, and then I embossed it. I drew on it with a stylus or something. And put black behind it just to set the cat off the background, because I was just showing different ways of how you could interpret that and put it on the cover of a book. And then this is a little charm type thing, or ornament. I guess it's an ornament that I actually sawed with a jewelry saw. I sawed it out of copper. Let me come in the other way. Instead of holding it up there, let's go this way. So this is sawed out of copper from the hardware store. And punched the holes with what, I don't know, some kind of hole punch, because this is fairly thick copper. I probably talked Clawsman into doing it, quite honestly. And then I stitched around, I filed the edges of the cat. So this is actually metal, and then painted it with probably some sort of metal paint. This is a separate piece that I glued on there, stitched around the outside, and then put in a jump ring and made it into an ornament. So those are some ideas that, although this was my artwork, those are some different ideas that maybe you could do with kids in your life, and which I highly, highly recommend that you do, because it makes your kids, the kids around you, feel important, and like what they do matters. And I think that that is just, you can't do that too much with kids, you know? You can't make them, you still have to teach them and shape them into human beings instead of little monsters. But, you know, you can do that. So I have other things to show you, but I will save those for another time. Okay. So how about if we take a look at Collage, this journal? I showed this on Monday night, week before last, and I've decided that I don't need to make this a serious kind of thing. This can just be fun. And if you want to do this too, and also I'm not going to necessarily go in order. So if you want to do this too, you can either get a journal like this, or you can make a journal, or you can just get a piece of paper. Oh, thanks, Rhonda. And I thought what we would do, I've shown this before, but it's a fun little book. It's a little bit along the line of Wreck This Journal, but the artwork in it is really interesting. And I thought that maybe we would skip over to this page, because I like this page. And you could take magazine images. If you don't want to draw heads, like you could draw a head, like you just draw a circle and put something in it and make that a head. You found a copy on eBay for $7. Well, that's cool. You got a copy yesterday? Oh, good. I didn't know whether it was still available or not. Let's see, when was it put out? Because I don't even know when it was put out. It was done for Emily. I don't know if we can find a copyright. 2015. So it's been around a while. I actually bought this for, I think this was the one I bought for Clawsman, because I thought he would enjoy doing it, and it was, by the time I bought this for him, he was too far down the pike. of dementia, and so he never did do anything with it. Came from thrift books. Okay. Yeah, just look online, or just, you don't even need the book. You can do it otherwise. You can just make it up. Another thing you can do is find images in magazines and just put white gesso over the face. That's fine too. Or just collage over the face. Doesn't matter. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is I have, among all the things as I have been cleaning out in the move, I have a whole two big containers of collage stuff that's too good to throw away. And I thought, I think we'll just take some of that and we'll just collage some stuff onto these pages. Sound good? Okay. So let me get my bin. I'm going to use the smaller of the two bins of collage things. So let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a basket of collage stuff. So we'll look and see what's in here. All right. So this is a basket with just all kinds of stuff in it, bits and pieces and what have you. And so some of it could go straight into a journal and some of it could fill these heads. So I'm just going to go through here and randomly pull out some stuff that I like. I love these colors, so I'm going to pull those out. Maybe some flowers. Oh, some music, of course. When you're buying something from an artist, you're buying more than an object. You're buying hundreds of hours of errors and experimentation. You're buying years of frustration and moments of pure joy. You're not buying just one thing. You are buying a piece of a heart, a piece of a soul, a small piece of someone else's life. Amen. Oh, there's my big dolls I made. These are life-size dolls that I made. I think I've shown these to you many times. This was I was much younger and I was totally exhausted. My friend and I were doing this. We were making these dolls. They were to help sell a book that Kansas City Star was publishing. Kansas City Star is a newspaper. They also had a publishing division where they published books for a while, for a number of years. And so these were characters in a book. And so this was Eleanor and this was Poe, I think, as I recall. Anyway, they were life-size. They were over 5 feet tall. And the funny part about it was we had this one done. I think that was the one we did. I don't know. We had one of them done. And I mean, I had sculpted their faces and sculpted boobs on them and all kinds of stuff. And I put the doll that was done, I had taken her down and I'd sat her in the rocking chair in the family room because we were up really, really, really late working on these dolls, these silly dolls. Came down, put her in this chair, and I'd put a bathrobe, one of my bathrobes on her, and put her in the chair. Next morning, Clausman didn't know. He didn't have a clue what I had done, and he came down and walked around was going to go down the hallway to, I don't know, go to the kitchen or something. And the doll, life size, caught his, peripheral vision and about scared the crap out of him because he had no idea. He had no idea that I had done, that we had that doll to that point. And that, I just thought I thought it was incredibly funny myself. I laughed a lot about that. Yep, I surely did. So there's just a little piece of woven something. There's a butterfly napkin. There's all kinds of journaling somethings in here. There you go. Eagle. Yeah, so look at that pretty thing. Isn't that pretty? That may have come from Jan. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just pulling out just a few more things, and then we're going to see what we can collage into these heads, faces. They don't have to be realistic, by the way. I might have to have some of those, don't you think? Okay, let's see if we can make, here's a few more. Okay, let's see if we can make something happen out of what I've pulled out. And okay. So anyway, what I was going to tell you was that those dolls, once they were finished, we went to Goodwill and we dressed those dolls from Goodwill, and we put fake fingernails, glued fake fingernails on them. Then we had to go to a store and buy wigs, and so we put their heads were big enough, they had real human size wigs on them, and so we put those on them and dressed them and put jewelry and all that kind of stuff on those on those dolls. They were huge. They were huge. Okay, so all right, I pulled out a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna just do what this says, which is we're gonna collage these heads with stuff. Sound like a plan? Okay. What happened to the dolls? They, last I knew, my friend still had them. They were sitting in her living room in a rocking chair. She had cats also, and her cats absolutely loved them. So she would walk in, and they startled her more than once, and she knew they were there. But she would walk into the living room, and here would be one of the cats settled in her lap. But they traveled all over, as long as they were trying to sell that. As long as they were trying to sell the dolls or the book, those dolls traveled everywhere for quite a while. Okay, so let us. These are some mandalas that I had. Oh, that's cute. Okay, let's take her. I don't know where this came from. I will screen grab a lot of things from different places, And so this was something that had been carved into a trunk of a tree that I was fascinated with. And so I used this image multiple times in my journals just because I loved that. The talent to do that in a trunk of a tree, I think, is remarkable. So I think we might do that, but we might also put something around it. Look at those beautiful flowers. I just think these are wonderful. I think those are dahlias, aren't they? It's funny how you look for things. And okay, let me get a glue stick also. So if you want to do something like this, got to get a glue stick that I can get open. You know, I haven't done much arting when I can't get my supplies open. All right, I get a piece of scrap paper. So I'm just going to take this image in the tree, and I'm just going to put it on this just because I think it would be kind of a fun thing. So what are you guys doing today? Anything in particular? All right. I hope you're having a good day. I think that will work there just quite well, don't you? All right, let's put this glue stick has seen a better day. It has seen a better day. You're just watching me? Okay, Dorothy. I'm happy to entertain. Tomorrow is VIP class, Dorothy. Your email will go out later today. I just haven't had time to get it out. Look at this cow head. I mean, who doesn't need a cow head on the brain, right? This is probably some famous artist that I'm defacing here, which, no pun intended. Sometimes you just need to be silly, you know what I mean? Just need to be silly. I'll tell you what, this crazy virus thing, I hope you guys, I hope each and every one of you do not have to deal with it. We are trying to avoid having Elton get it. Okay, so let's do that, and then see if we can put something behind it. What? Maybe some Some of this yellow would be fun. Okay, let's do that. Do not ask me why I'm making the decisions I'm making, because I have no thought whatsoever about why I'm doing this. I'm just going for it and seeing what happens. So we're going to put this yellow. Part of this is going to get cut off, so this copy back here, this was from a piece of something I did on stream, and then I made a color copy of it. So this was a bunch of patchwork of papers, and then I stitched it, and then I made a color copy of it, like it was important or something, I guess. Okay, let's add a little bit of color behind this. Like I said, no thought, no rhyme or reason, just having fun. Hello, Jan. Good to see you. How are you? Hi, Angela. Came home and cleaned the kitchen. There you go. Trying to keep me on the straight and narrow. That is impossible, Jan. Okay, let's put that cow on there like that. Purple cow. Anybody know if this is some famous artwork? This must be the end of this glue stick. That must be why it's... Yeah, we're at the end of this glue stick. That's why it's misbehaving. Guess what? We're gonna relegate that to the dumper. Get another one. Let's see. Let's see if we can get another glue stick open, huh? Oh, much better. Okay. So what's on your mind? What's on your mind is a cow, a purple cow. All right, let's take a... Now, let's see. Somewhere here I have some wax paper. Here it is. Wax paper and parchment paper. So I'm just going to stick this in here before I smash it to kind of protect what's going on down below. We can make up stories about why there's a purple cow on his mind. Now, some people would leave those straggly bits on the edges, but you know me, if you've been hanging around with me very long, I don't like straggly bits hanging off the edges, so I have to get rid of that. That's just my own personal thing. Alfalfa pellets for your roses. Just nothing but excitement there, Jan. Nothing but excitement. Tell Mr. Bear hello, okay? Tell him I said hello. So this guy has got girls on his mind. let's let's see. Here's an actual face here. That could be kind of fun. That could actually be kind of fun there. Let's cut off that part. Sometimes, you know, we just need to get out of our own heads. Let's see. Stop taking everything so seriously. I mean, really. Just stop taking life so seriously. Get rid of a little bit more of that dark green. Now, I have to admit, when I feel like crap, it's real hard not to take life seriously. That is a fact. Let's see. Here's a packet of butterflies. I don't know where these came from. Somebody sent them to me, I'm sure. I know, it's a good cow, isn't it? It's a good silly cow. All right, let's see if there's anything in here we can do. Look at all these butterflies. I don't know who sent these to me. I don't remember. Maybe Amber did. Amber likes to send butterflies to me. Okay, here's our head. Paper butterflies. I bet Amber sent those to me. Let's take some all right, let's round this out. Actually, let's just change her hairstyle completely. And we'll just see if we can put some butterflies on here to fashion a hairdo. Because who wouldn't want a hairdo made of butterflies, don't you think? Oh, and a nice sparkly one to come in here. Okay, let's see if I can put these together, because I like the way they're arranged. Oh goodness, my pen is stuck in my art glitter glue. Got it. Whew. Okay, let's see. Can we do this? I don't know if this art glitter glue will hold this. These are kind of shiny, so we're about to find out. We're going to find out whether this will work or not. Okay, I think we need some more butterflies. We need to add a few more little butterfly bits in here. Because why not? It will hold. Okay. Good to know. Let's just add a couple more little butterfly. We'll just have a little nest of butterflies in her hair. Like there is such a thing as a nest of butterflies, right? Okay, let's put her little head on there, and then we'll just sort of, I'm going to leave her neck kind of free. So if we need to build a neck under here, oh, and this one needs to go on here. I'm sure it does. I think I must have cut this butterfly off for something else. The art glitter glue does stick pretty quickly. Somebody was talking the other day about a holder that you could, that the art glitter glue people make, that this sits down in and holds your glue. Do you guys, are you familiar with that? Winged Thoughts. Any of you have those? It just says, I don't know that it, yes, Art Institute Glitter Incorporated, Cottonwood, Arizona. Okay, so let's, you know, we could just let the black, just kind of make that nice and big, you know, call attention to it in the background. Do we want to put anything else back there? Let's see. What about this? These are stickers. I know this came from Amber. I know this came from her. Okay, let's just, and I've had them because I've hoarded them all this time, so let's, I think it's a sticker. All right, let's see. I kind of like that. Okay, let's see if this really is a sticker. I'm pretty sure it is. I think these came from Dollar Tree, I think. It wants to come off. The backing wants to. There it is. If I had fingernails, it would help, but I don't. So there you go. All right, let's do this one. Like that. Whoops. Lost my chat here. Oh. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put that there, and then we're just going to put this on top of that, and I think that'll work. Okay, hopefully my glue did not have a chance. Yeah, it didn't dry up. I was afraid it might dry up, like drying the spout a little bit, because I know that that's one of the things you got to kind of watch with the art glitter glue. Hence the reason for the little pin that you stick in the spout, sticking its little nose. Okay, so quickly before anything gets dry, let's put this on here. Okay, let me wipe down my my art glitter glue. And the little pin, I had never had the pin stick in it before, but Of course, it's been a while since I've had this glue open too, so there you go. Okay. All right. I like that one. I like the butterfly hairdo. Butterflies on her mind, don't you think? Cows on the mind, butterflies on the mind, girls on the mind. Glue press. I thought it was like a holder of some kind. I don't know. I think I saw him on I heard him talking about it when on a stream that Karen Elaine was doing. She was doing it for Yasatomo, I think. I think that's where I heard it. I could be totally wrong. Okay. What else do we want to do? I just love these flowers. I love these flowers so much. Jan, are you still here? If you are these dahlias? Seems like they are, but Jan would probably know. I'm pretty sure they are. I should have paid more attention when my dad was trying to teach me the botanical names or just the common names of flowers. Yeah, I didn't. I was like, oh, Dad, for heaven's sakes, you know? Yes, they are. Okay. Sweet Petunia has a glue press that helps squeeze the glue out of the bottle. Huh. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. Let's... Ugh, I like flowers like that. Let's see. What else? We need to have something else on here. Let's see. Maybe we'll put a piece of tissue paper behind it. Oh, there's a nice butterfly. But it'll probably just cover it up. Let's just glue it on top of this music and see what happens. Shu says, I think, yes, they have a stand where you can hold the glue bottle upright. I think that's what you're talking. It could be what I'm talking about, but to be honest, to be fair, I don't know what I'm talking about. I really don't. No, I really don't know what I'm talking about. So there you go. Okay, some glue stick. And let's just pick a... Pick a spot, any spot. Move all these butterflies out of the way. Not that they're not beautiful, but, you know, maybe we'll just move them over. My brain has, and my voice have actually worked together to kind of keep it all together here today. So that's a good thing. Okay, what if we do this? I don't know why, but, you know, just because maybe we can. Since we'll take advantage of the fact that we can look through the tissue paper. Okay, and let's see what magic thing we can come up with here. I have no idea if that red pencil is water soluble or not, or if it'll smear. We're probably fixing to find out. I don't know if I told you about this or not, but when Race was home helping me move the studio and my granddaughter came up, and one of the things that we did, because my house that I'm moving out of, that's the only house that my granddaughter, I may have told, please forgive me if I've told you this already, because I'm here to tell you that I don't know what I told you and what I haven't told you. But that is the only house that my granddaughter associates with home. Because, let's see, I need to cut this a little. Yeah, it's all right. Because she was born after we moved into that house. And so one of the things I wanted to do, because it was clearly a little difficult for her thinking about me moving out of that house, and because that was always going home for her, was coming there. And so one of the things that we did, when I call them the kids, neither one of them are kids, but one of the things that I wanted to do when the kids were home, is to spend some time at the house, just me with them, the two of them. And I'm just gluing this in the book, but I wanted to talk to you. And so I wanted to spend some time with them, just us, and just going from room to room in the house and talking about our memories in the house. And so that's what we did. And at first it was a little, it took a minute. It took a minute to get started, But it turned out to be one of the most positive experiences, because we spent time going through every space in the house. The three of us plus the baby. We had the baby who is 8 months old now. That baby that I went to help when he was going to be born, that baby is 8 months old now. Goodness, I can't believe it. Anyway, we went from room to room, and we talked about our memories. Sorry, my nose is I'm still a little congested. Every once in a while I sound like I'm talking in a barrel. Anyway, we just went from room to room and we talked about the memories that we had in those spaces. And it was so, there were times when it was real emotional. There were times when it was really funny. There were times when it was sweet. Times it was extremely thought-provoking. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from them about what was important there, because you get busy, especially I think, as at least for me, I would get so busy, like doing stuff, preparing food, going to the store, cooking, doing the whole thing, just making sure that everything's taken care of, that you don't really recognize sometimes what the impact is of a space, or the impact of a home is for those that are around you. Because, the tyranny of the busyness. And so it was really, really fascinating to me to see and hear and to experience through their eyes what was important to them. And it was a really wonderful experience. One of the funniest memory spaces there is in my house, because it was originally a split foyer, which means you come into a landing and then you either go up or down inside. After we added on to it, then there was another level, middle level in the house. But anyway, because it was a split foyer originally, and it was that way for quite a while. When you would go down the steps in the house and go into what was the space that we lived in, that's where the family room and the kitchen and all that stuff was in the lower level of the house. And under the steps these were one of the staircases. And under those steps, they had built what amounted to, it was a storage space, what amounted to the only basement that we had in the whole house. But to get in it, you had to get on your hands and knees, and you had to crawl, open the door. It looked like a regular closet door. You had to open the closet door, get on your hands and knees, and crawl into this space. Not extremely convenient, I might add. But that was the place that everybody loved, right? Everybody loved it, especially children, especially the grandkids. They just loved that space. Sorry, I'm trying to think and do. Dangerous. Think and do is dangerous. And my granddaughter, who is in her 30s now, mother of 2, she said, well, we don't want to forget this. And she opens that door and goes inside and crawls inside on her hands and knees and starts recounting the things that she remembered about that space. That's where the toys were when the kids were little, when the grandchildren were little, and that's where all the toys were. And so that's where where they loved to go explore and see what was under there. Because if I'd get something that was new, kid-like, kid-friendly, I put it under there in the toy box and that kind of stuff. And so they always enjoyed going under there and being in that little neat space that was just sized perfectly for kids, So, bye, Joan. Good to see you. Hey, Kathy. Did not record it. No, did not record it. It was such a, because it's hard to record things when you are participating, Now, and I think that part of that is the generation that I am a part of. We don't think about recording as much as the younger generation does. Like, for example, I think I told you that Chance got caught by a glue trap. He got 2 feet in it. He went exploring when I wasn't looking, and he got caught in a glue trap because it's a whole thing. Doesn't matter. I'm not here to debate the merits of glue traps, okay? Just for the record, we're not going to debate that. Or my feelings about them. Chance got caught in a glue trap, and we got him sorted out, and then about 2 weeks later, the glue trap got one of the outdoor cats who had snuck in the house. And that was when Race was there. And the first thing he does, because I'm yelling at Race and I'm saying, you got to come help me, because the cat got caught. He was only caught by one foot. But I was scared to death he was going to get his other foot in it, and then it was going to be a worse mess. Okay, where did that go? And so I'm like, you got to come help me. And he goes, oh, wait a minute. We need to record it. And he did. He recorded the whole thing while he's helping me. Yeah. So, yeah. And then, don't you know, when my granddaughter was here, they were staying here with us. And the toddler, who was a little over 3, goes downstairs. And you know how kids will do? They just like test things out. Aren't paying attention. They don't know any better. And she just walked over and put her foot right in the glue trap. So we caught 2 cats and a toddler. And then I was telling our contractor about that. And he said, and a red pipe. So apparently at some point, the contractor had gone downstairs to do something, and I don't know why he had red pipe, but anyway, he set it off to the side and set it right into the glue trap. And so it caught a red pipe also. Anyway, so I'm just putting these we'll put this someplace else. I'm just adding, these are paper napkins, so they're incredibly fragile, and they may or may not tear or stick well. If you get it out of the glue stick fast enough. If you get it out of the glue stick fast enough, you can get it down to one piece. If you don't get it out of the glue stick fast enough, you're going to rip it to bits and pieces. Okay, so we have this butterfly here, which probably will need to have a little color on it later, but we got some stuff happening here. I think we might need to put another. I mean, this napkin, it was almost totally used up, but I've managed to harvest a few more bits and pieces out of it. All right, I promise I'm going to stop with this piece on this. That doesn't mean that'll be the end of what I do. Oops, to this head. I just want to soften the edge of this. It was kind of a hard edge here from this. Where I cut that apart. And maybe we'll need one more. Anyway, so I don't even know what I was talking to you about when I sidetracked myself. Oh, we were talking about the spaces at the house. Yeah. So it was an extraordinary thing to do. It was suggested to me by one of my very good friends, and I think it really helped. Especially, I think it helped my granddaughter to, kind of be able to see many of the things about the house that were special and good, and all of that. I think it was a really extraordinarily good thing for us to do together. Okay, I'm just going to stick this on here. I don't know why. It's just because I want to. Okay, it has no rhyme, no reason. Just, it's a just because. Just because I want to. Sometimes it's good if you just don't have time to think, or don't take time to think, and just put things down. See what happens. You think you'd be done with glue traps? Well, you know, I could agree with that. I could kind of agree with that. Okay, so we have two more spaces here, which doesn't mean that we have to fill these spaces today. And nothing says that we can't come back. I've got napkins sticking to me. Nothing says we can't come back and add more, or add a neck on here. Did I leave some space? No, I guess I glued it down. We may add a neck to this torso. We may add some other things. Who knows? But I think, actually, I think maybe I'm going to be done for today. If that's okay with you all. I think my voice has held up remarkably well. And I have to say that I'm enjoying doing this. I was hoping I would enjoy it. I was hoping you guys would enjoy it. And this is just collage junk from that basket that I have. And so I think it's kind of a fun thing. Need a helping head? A lot on your mind? Fill your head with stuff. And this is kind of what my head is like, especially if I wake up and it's still dark outside. My head can turn on and go like that, you know? It can actually do that. Anyway, I don't know. Did any of you that got the book, were you working along, or were you just kind of watching? That being said, I am going to take off. You just ordered the book. Oh, good. I'm going to take off, and it's really good to see you. I got to go check on a certain dog, see if she's made any mistakes while I was busy. And I will be back. I'll be with the VIP group tomorrow, and I will be back hopefully Monday night, and I should be consistent for a few more times here. Let me look at my calendar real quick, because I can tell you. I will be here, this is the 7th. I will be here next week, Monday and Friday, and the following Monday. And then I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. Okay, so I won't be here for the 2 weeks after that. So I'll be here all next week and the Monday after that. That is my plan. Keep your fingers crossed. And I will see you on Monday, okay? So thanks for hanging out with us. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day, weekend, night, day, whenever it is. And I will see you before you know it. Remember to get creative today, because you know it's easy. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.